Companies choosing a contractor for a project, their first mistake is normally choosing a company with poor management and with insufficient experience. Well, if say a project manager, for instance, has got to put a budget in place for a project, he doesn't know about putting budgets in place. He doesn't cater for the correct gear or enough equipment to do the job. That will cause, in the end, they will cause delays for production. There's lots of drillers out there. Lots of companies employ drillers. I guess it's on a need-to basis. They've got a minimum amount of experience, sometimes 1 year, 2 years on the levers, which is really not enough to run a project in harsh conditions, especially in Africa. You've got isolated areas. They're a bit complacent with what's going on, and they make errors because they're feeling their way. So that can lead to error down the hole, or bad recovery, bad core, bad quality core coming out of the hole. Diamond drilling is based on water pressure on the face of the bit. That's the cooling system. Without water, you heat your bit up. It's a diamond impregnated bit, and without water flow on the face of it, it will burn. If it burns, it'll melt to the floor of the hole. And then once it melts, you have to break your rods, cut the rods off, either start a new hole at your own expense, or you have to drill that material out of the hole. Drilling steel material out of a hole is time consuming. You can lose up to a week's production just repairing a hole. A driller that's got experience, he knows by ear, by feel, when things are going wrong in the hole. Normally there's signs of it happening. Unless you're onto it, unless you're experienced in it, then it passes you by, and then that's where the problem starts. If you've drilled a 150 metre hole, for instance, that's taken, and you're averaging about 20 metres a day, or 10 metres or 15 metres a shift, you see how long that's going to take you. You're looking at over a week's work. And money. I mean, diamond drilling is not cheap. So if at 150 metres you burn the bit, now you've got to get casing cutters and you've got to cut the pipe. Then you've got to drill the rubbish, the debris, the steel matrix out of the hole. That's going to take a week. Or the contractor can start a fresh hole at his own cost and drill 150 metres to start the hole again. It's a cost to the contractor, and normally there's arguments between contractor and client over whose responsibility it is. The contractor might say it's ground conditions, the client will say rubbish, nothing wrong with the ground conditions, your driller error. And not only that, now the client is also, he may have spent 4 days trying to right this hole, he failed, so now he's got to spend another 10 days to get that hole back online to where he left off. So the client is paying money for accommodation for these guys. It's costing him his wages. He's got people standing around waiting for production. His delays in sample recovery, getting to the labs. He's behind time with his assay results. So it's a chain reaction, damage right through, and it all goes back to the client's over budget. Can I see the CVs of your drillers and your site supervisors? Once he's satisfied that they look like they've got enough years experience, the next question would be, have you got a good inventory? This is an isolated job, we're in Africa. This is a helicopter support job, and it's expensive to run helicopters. Do you have enough equipment so we're not running back and forth looking for gear? That's another thing. Inventory list must be checked, and the client has a right to ask for an inventory list. And get referees from past mining companies, exploration companies he's drilled for, and normally that's a contractor should actually apply that with his quotation or his tender. He should actually put referees in from other mining companies, so they don't have to go to this bother, they don't have to waste time asking the questions. It should all be there in his tender document.